Hey guys, what is up? Hello, hi, how are you? My name is John and welcome to my channel. Hi! So I went to Ulta yesterday just to get the new Morphe Filter Foundation, but I ended up leaving with a bag full. We're gonna do a full face with all the items that I bought, so I'm very excited. We're not gonna be trying the new Morphe foundation because I did a review on that, and that video should be up before this video. And spoiler, that foundation was way lighter, so I'm not trying to look like a slutty ghost. I actually want to look cute today, so we're gonna just do my tried and true foundation, which is a Fenty. Okay, first up, I got the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. It comes 6 brushes in this box. Do I need more brushes? No, but do I want it? Yeah. And I got the Juvia's palette Warrior, what the hell is this? Warrior 3. So I'm excited. This is really pretty. Then I got the Professional Pore Primer. Then I got the Tribe Highlight Volume 3 by Juvia's. So sad, can you see it? Okay. And then I got a hair clip. It's missing 2 because I took it out to use it in my review video, which you will see in my gorgeous hair. And I got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel. And this is in the shade Dark Brown. And then I also got the Benefit, the Pore Professional Super Setter. I don't know if you guys believe in setting your makeup or even use it, but I do. I don't know if it does anything, but I'm accustomed to do it, so we're not going to break routine now. Almost forgot. I also got the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. So I got this in like the gold or silver, which I used it in my Morphe foundation video. Here's this gorgeous purple that I did not try yet, so we might use this today.
Hey guys, what is up? This is Future John. That clip that you saw was filmed 7 days ago, and the reason I couldn't complete it was because her battery died.
And I completely forgot all about it until today when I was going through my camera to delete old videos and I saw that intro. So here we are, nothing has changed. Well, that's a lie. I gained 10 pounds since Monday. Ignore the redness on my skin. I just shaved and she is irritated. So let's go ahead and piss her off even more and put some foundation on her. I have to shave every single day because believe it or not, I am a man. Oh my god! Wow! So we're going to use the Benefit Primer. And I've already used this. I absolutely love it. It feels so creamy and velvety and smooth. If I could eat it, I would. Oh, okay, this is too much, but that's okay. Do you guys pick up hitchhikers, or have you ever hitchhiked? Because let me tell you a story. I'm not trying to judge you or tell you how to live your life, but if you pick up hitchhikers, I would stop immediately, sis. There are a lot of dangerous people out there that will use other people's kindness to take advantage of them. So I read this story about a woman named Jody. I can't remember what website I got it off, but it is a true story. It's like a forum where people leave their weirdest encounters. Her name's Jody and she lived about 5 hours away from New York City. And I think when this happened, she was, I want to say 22. But she goes to the city. She meets with her friends once a month during the weekend. You know, so they can live it up, party it up. Do what teenagers do. Or young adults, I should say. Oh, and I used my Fenty concealer, by the way. This is not new. So Jody ended up loading up her truck and putting all her crap in there, and she headed off to New York City. So remember, it's 5 hours away from her house. So as she was, I think, maybe 2 hours into the drive, she sees this guy on the side of the road. He had his thumb up like, sweetie, help a sister out. So initially she passed him because she was like, well, I've never picked anyone up before. Do I really want to start now? But as she passed him, she saw him on her rearview mirror, and she felt really bad for him because she said he looked very sad and just alone and in desperate need of help. And so she was thinking to herself, well, he's a pretty scrawny guy. In her mind, she said that he looked pretty weak, that she could overpower him. He didn't seem like anyone that would hurt another human being. So she ends up reversing and she rolls her window down. And I think this story took place a long time ago because she said she had to reach across the passenger side to roll the window down. See, that assumed too much. I think this was, probably BC, before Christ. So she rolls her window down and she was like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, I'm going into the city. Do you think you can drop me off? And she's like, oh, perfect. That's where I'm going. And she said as he was talking to her, he seemed very shy, very timid. He wasn't really making eye contact, and he was holding his hand like this below, like down here, and was just occasionally would glance up. Those people that doesn't like to make eye contact. And she said that was how he was. And so he just didn't seem like he could hurt anyone. That's what she was thinking. So he got in the car, threw his backpack in the back seat, and then they headed off to their destination. In her story, she didn't really mention his name, so we're gonna call him Ian. Yeah, Ian sounds like a menacing name. Yeah, we'll call him Ian. So Jody said at first, maybe for the first 5 minutes, it was pretty quiet and he wasn't talking, but Jody's the type of person that does not like dead air, and she feels very awkward if people don't talk, so she was just talking nonstop. She was, asking him about his life, till he felt uncomfortable, so she just started talking about herself,
Hello, I can relate. I love talking about myself. But so she
started talking about herself, and then she said that's when he started to open up. She was telling him about the reason why she was going to the city and what her and her friends were gonna do. She talked about her college life. So Jody seemed like an open book. She seems like the type of person that you say, hey girl, how's it going? And then she tells you her family history. Those type. So as Jody was, talking and just making Ian feel more comfortable, Ian decides to open up. He was just talking about how strapped for cash he was. Obviously that's the whole reason why he's, hitchhiking. And Ian said he was visiting family, that's why he needed to go into the city. And so for another hour, they were just randomly talking about just random things, right? And then Ian mentioned that he has to take a leak. And so Jody was like, oh, no problem. We're 30 minutes away from a truck stop. And Jody also said there's a restaurant maybe 2 miles away from the truck stop, and we can get something to eat and it would be my treat. And Ian was like, no, no, no. And Jody was saying, no, you've kept me company on this trip and you're super polite. Let me do something for you. So they end up going to the truck stop. While Ian was going to the bathroom, Jody went ahead and filled up the tank, because there was a gas station right there too. And you have to remember, Jody's taken this trip many of times, so she knows exactly where things are. Ooh, this looks really nice. This is the Natasha Denona Love Glow Cheek Palette, by the way. Ooh. And while Jody was filling up the gas, she went inside to the gas station. And when she returned to the car, she saw Ian sitting the passenger seat, and he was like waving at her, you know, just very friendly. And when they got to the diner, you know, they sat down and they ended up ordering dinner. And they were at the diner for maybe about another like hour or so, and they were just chit-chatting. And Jody said he was really fun to talk to and easy to get to know once like he opens up. You know, I have met many people like that who at first are very quiet, but then once they get to know you, you get to know them. They're like an open book and they won't shut up. So I think that's how Ian was. So I'm gonna take this color, Jarawa.
Jarawa, I think that's the name.
Are you stupid or something?
So before they actually left, Jody she ordered one more thing to go. Little did Ian know that to-go item that she bought was actually for him. Because as they were, you know, talking in the car earlier, he mentioned he didn't have any money whatsoever, and so she wanted to do something nice for him. When she handed him his bag, he was just so thankful, and at first he was like, no, I can't take this, and she's like, you better, sweetie, I bought it for you. I'm paraphrasing, I don't think she talks like that. I don't think anyone really talks the way I do. And she said that Ian felt a little bit uncomfortable, or he looked a little uncomfortable when she paid for dinner. And they went back into her truck, and then they drove to the city. And they continued to talk, you know, the whole way through. Finally, they made it to their destination. To Ian's destination. And then he hopped out of the car. First he grabbed his bag from the back seat. Then he hopped out of the car. But before closing the door, he asked Jody if he could have her phone number so they can, you know, talk in the future. And Jody was like, yeah, awesome. Like, the road trip was really cool. He seemed like a cool guy. Everything went really well. And yeah, I can use more friends in my life. So she writes down her phone number on the piece of paper. And then he thanked her for everything, for the ride, for the meal, and just said that she's like an awesome person. And then he shut the door and headed on his way. Ha!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You thought something crazy was gonna happen, didn't you, bitch? Gotcha.
Not gonna make me do.
Well, this is where the story kind of gets a little weird, okay? I'm gonna take this yellow shade, Nzinga. I am so sorry if I'm butchering these names. Again, no disrespect, I'm just a dumb bitch. Ask anybody I know. And I want to pop this right here, this shade. Okay, so Jody receives a phone call 2 weeks later from Ian. So she answers like, hey sis. And the guy was like, hey, this Ian. And she was like, oh my god, my pal, my bestie. And so she was really excited. But, you know, when she said hello, Ian continued to talk and wouldn't even let her get a word in. But Ian was just so thankful, saying, you know, Jody, you were just so sweet. You didn't have to give me a ride, but you did, and you were so welcoming. Jody, just to let you know that once we got to the truck stop, I was planning on raping you, murdering you, and stealing your truck. So Jody, please, please, never ever pick up a hitchhiker again. And then he hangs up. And she's never heard from him, and she's never picked up a hitchhiker since then. Like, thank goodness nothing happened to her, you know? But that proves that, you know, just because someone seems like they couldn't hurt a fly, like, it's normally the quiet ones, the shy, quiet, small ones that tend to commit the most violent of acts. So I'm gonna take this color, Kahina. So I have a hitchhiking story. Well, it's not really a hitchhiking story. Why is my mouth open every time I do this? So I used to live in Alaska. I know, you're like, well, duh, you look hella rugged, very manly. Of course you would live in Alaska. So I lived in Kenai, Alaska to be exact. It's really out in the middle of nowhere. It's actually, I want to say, either 2 to 3 hours away from Anchorage, which is the bigger city in Alaska. And in Kenai, there's really nothing there, except a Walmart and a Fred Meyer's. So if you wanted to go shopping or go to the mall, you'd have to go to Anchorage. And so I occasionally went there. The drive's really nice. It's basically just like a straight shot. I want to say it was like the first year when I moved to Kenai. It was the first summer. And summers in Alaska is pretty amazing because it would be like midnight or 1 a.m. and it would still look like it was like 6 p.m. So it's pretty cool. So summers there are popping. But
Every other day is like hell on earth.
so I was driving back home from Anchorage and there was this guy on the side of the road. I'm gonna take this purple Candace. Okay, that I can say. Watch, it's like Condunas. Oh no, it looks really good, guys. These shadows are so pigmented. Okay, so there was this guy on the side of the road. He had his emergency lights blinking, and he had his car kind of like up on those like sticks. You know, well, it's not really sticks, but on that metal thing where if you were to change your tires, right? So he had it on that. And so stopped to where I was, because normally when you're on the road in Alaska, you're normally by yourself. So I rolled my window down and I was just like, sweetie, are you okay? And he was like, oh, can I get a ride? And I was like, well, it seems like you're going the opposite direction. And he's like, no, it's fine, I can go wherever you're going.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Suspicious. And so I was like, oh no, I don't really feel comfortable giving you a ride, but I can call someone for you. And he was like, no, it's like, fine, just give me a ride. And so I was like, well, do you have a cell phone? And he said, no, he doesn't have a cell phone. He's been stuck out there for, I want to say like 5-6 hours. And he also doesn't have any money. So no cell phone, no money. So he's basically stranded and he just needs a ride, right? And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and call non-emergency for you and they can send someone. And he's like, well, why can't you just give me a ride? And I was
like, well, I already told you I didn't feel comfortable. And so
then he kind of like started to get upset. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I decided to leave. Well, before I left, I took a picture of his license plate, just drove off. And I called before, when I drove off, he flipped me off. And so I called the non-emergency and I told him what was going on. I was like, hey, someone's out here like stranded. And he has no money, no cell phone, and he needs help, and I didn't feel comfortable giving him a ride. And so they were like, okay. And I was like, I do have his license plate. And they're like, okay, cool. So I gave him my information, the license plate, and washed my hands of it. Then I went home. And I completely forgot about like that whole thing until 4 days later I get a call. So I picked it up and it's somebody from the police department, and they said, they were like, hey, you called us about a guy being stranded. We sent a police officer there. It took maybe about like 4 or 5 hours. No one was there. Right? No one was there. And they were like, and also, the license plate number you gave us, that's from a car that was reported stolen. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the guy said that the engines blew out, so he wasn't able to go anywhere. So, I don't know, you take that how it is. I thought it was really creepy. These shadows are going on so smooth, and they're not turning out like, it's not getting muddy either, because you know you have some shadows that when you start mixing them, they start to get really muddy. These are not. Okay, we're gonna take the shade Congo with this flat brush. Are you guys having a good day? Happy Valentine's Day. Today's Sunday. This video is not gonna be put up today, probably tomorrow, but hey, happy Valentine's Day. But you know what? Valentine's Day is kind of like a scam, a cash grab, like from the card company and the candy company.
Actually, not the candy company. The candy company, they do God's work, so let's not include them in that.
These colors are so pretty. So I'm gonna take this green Messiah and put that down here. My bottom lash, is that what it's called? I never went to school. While everyone was going to school, I was hooking. Wait, do I want to do this green? Yeah, we're gonna do this green. Do I? Yeah, do I? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take this shade right here, Karma. We're gonna pop her inner corner. Oh, yes. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, but we're not gonna open this new one. We're gonna try and finish my existing one. We're gonna use the Pat McGrath eyeliner, Black Coffee. We're gonna take the Juvia's Place highlighter and we're gonna put this on our brow bone. So she looks like this. That is nice. Okay, so I kind of want to use this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. And these shadows are better applied with your finger. Since I don't have a finger that's small enough to get this, we ain't doing that. Can you even tell?
For some highlight on my cheekbone.
She is doing something. This highlight is so blinding. Okay, what should we do for lips? I think I applied this horribly. Once again, I almost forgot mascara. We're gonna use the Sky High Maybelline. I didn't use any of the brushes, but that's okay. We'll save that for later. Let's go ahead and use the Benefit, the Professional Super Setter. So this was actually brand new. So this is a new product. Oh god. Let's see. Oh.
A few moments later.
Okay, it's like a mist, but it seems pretty weak. I'm not a fan of it. And it has definitely a taste. A bitter taste. But it smells good. It smells like baby powder. Oh my god. Okay, there we have it. This is the look. I don't think I've missed anything else on this mug. I really like everything that I got. Well, I don't know if I like this though. Oh, okay, do you see that? It's like leaking. What do you guys think? I love the highlighter. I love the palette. I definitely like the primer. Very happy with most of the stuff that I got, and I think this look turned out pretty good. What do you think? Alright, that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Please give me that thumbs up, even if you didn't like the video, sis. And also, if you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.